Good morning.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
Guys. Mate, everything's had a nice little bounce in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, we'll have a look at this.
Gold's just jumped 55 pips.
I noticed that. Yeah, we'll have a quick look at gold and then we'll go over to German. So I had a little buy overnight. A little sell overnight on German 40. I woke up, I couldn't help myself. Little fill the gap. 30 minute. Yeah, we continue to sell off. What a move. Can't believe I was in this and then didn't get any of this other. Anyway. At that stage, I thought this was a very good move. Now we drop down 1840. Pushing back up 1845. Some huge, amazing volatility now. Haven't been this low in ages. Look how just straight down. When gold drops, it drops hard. It's almost well, from the start of the move up here, 20th of September, 10 days ago, 12 days. How many days is that? 12 days ago. Over $100. $110 almost. Crazy, man. Oh well, very good, very good. Glad to see some volatility back in gold. It was pretty dire for a while. All right, well let's peek, have a little peek at German 40. Okay, so what I'm expecting, we don't really have any news today until PMI for New York. We've got a fairly quiet day on the ticket, which worries me because we know how there's always something. Some of these might actually be red folder anyway on financial juice. Yeah, some of these are red folder anyway. Revised numbers. Let's check what FX Street has. Has it as a little bit of orange? What about yeah, some of those got red unhappy faces as well. Yeah, so interesting that like Forex Trading has always yellow. A lot of these are revised numbers as well. Anyway, I'm sure it'll bring a little bit of volatility in this first hour once London Open starts. I'm expecting there to be probably some just unannounced news to come through, like just headlines, just comments by people that get reported. So we'll see. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Chancellor Hunt will say something again, who knows. What did he say anyway? No shortcast, faster UK growth. Tax cuts now will be inflationary. Disagree with those who say the shift to a highly taxed economy is permanent. Anyway, let's see. How's oil looking before we go to the real lower time frames? oil is, if oil's on the up, if oil is starting to push up, I wonder if we can break up, and if it, that would have a negative driver on indices. But if we could hold as resistance and push down a little bit deeper into these, that'd be bullish for indices. Anyway, so let's quickly run through what I'm looking for. Make this nice and big. I'll start with a higher time frame. Given that we had quite a bit of news about this US government shutdown. Oh, wait a sec, what's this?
Hey everyone.
Hey Simon. Oh man, Haydos starts talking, the kids choose, it's time to start fighting. Oh, gosh. Tom, gotta get the whip out. Alright, so what I'm expecting is that with this, I'm kind of bullish today. So we'll see though. I'll give you my reasons. We had news about this US government shutdown, and I'm sure that was pulling down stocks and indices, okay, on a lot of them. And now that we had news that has been averted, or temporarily, they just kicked the can down the road. What that means, I think we could have a little rebound. The last time the government shut down, which was 3 years ago, no, 2000 and, anyways, in the Trump era. So it was like maybe 4 years ago. So what happened was they were shut down for quite a while, actually. I think it was over Christmas, and they had a they had like a 12% drop, about 12% drop, and then a real quick rebound once they had sort of come, like they've sorted some of their differences out. So I wonder if that's going to be something similar as well, as that we've had that news was sort of weighing on stocks. We had a real negative drop in these days, and then we had started making some of the recovery, and then the recovery, the aversion was over the weekend. So I'm kind of thinking that even if this is a pullback, on the back of that news, it could still help that pullback a bit deeper. So what I'm looking at now is areas above price, which can be liquidity zones. If I'm thinking we're bullish up to liquidity, then that's what I'm going to be looking at. So daily is not really giving me a whole lot of information. We're on the new monthly candle, by the way. So what I can do here is actually put in the new monthly candle. So let's lock that one, and this one, the close is 15359.8. 15359.8, and I'll just lock that in because that's a new monthly level. Okay, so the monthly close, hella bearish underneath all these wicks. So we definitely got, if this is just a monthly, if we're just looking at like higher time frame, we can imagine that we have some sort of wick fill in this month. So we could still see some more downside. But because we're the first trading day of the month, we need to be very careful to see if we're going up or we're going down. Weekly it's Monday, so we haven't got much information, but last week did the same thing. Closed nice, healthy bearish underneath this previous candle's wick. Now we've left a nice lower wick as well that we can feel some of. It was pushing into some of these areas, but we still got this weekly no wick candle right here as well. So I would imagine that we're going to see some more pressure to the downside. Nothing's actually well, stocks are always bullish, as in on higher time frame. You know, they're always generally bullish, but we're still probably in this pullback zone, mainly because of this no wick, and we have a beautiful liquidity wick right over here. Now on the daily, we gapped up, so I think part of that was the news from the government shutdown, that we gapped up and then pushed up into this little gray zone that we've got up here. If I go to the 4 hour, this was part of that heavy drop in here, and we've seen it as a sensitive support level previously, and then price gapped up with Asian session, and then it got stuck here again, and then it started to drop a little bit. On the 4 hour, do I have any zones I want to point out here? Only the leftover ones from last week, the liquidity wick, which was a significant one. Nothing really new. 4 hour no bottom wick as well. So I think that's pretty much all we're going to say about this 4 hour chart for now. 3 hour, we have a 3 hour liquidity wick right over here. It's actually a 2 hour liquidity wick as well, but it's a 3 hour and a 2 hour. The main thing about this one, I think, that I want to say is that it's not quite at this area. So this resistance zone hasn't actually been retested yet, and that's why I'm kind of thinking bullish, because I think we can take out this high and actually push up into this area before then maybe being a top wick for the weekly. That was the gap that was filled. I'll show you where I took my trade on the lower time frame. 2 hour. 2 hour is this. Oh, okay. No, it was only a 3 hour. That makes sense then. 3 hour. 3 hour liquidity wick. All right. Now I've got a little tiny support over here. What else? That's about it for that one. Let's go 1 hour. 1 hour now. I've got a proper support formed. So here's my support in Euro session on Friday, and then here was that rejection again in late New York session where we bounced from. So this area is my support. That's my support right there. This zone here was just sensitive. This red one with just that little gap has actually been it's been filled now. So I was going to remove that, but I thought, oh, if we can close back above it, maybe it will have a little bit more of a support to push back up again. The way that this candle's closing, I don't want to trade against it. I'd rather trade with it. What else? What else? Yeah, apart from the support there, I've got this is the 1 hour imbalance candle. That if we are breaking underneath this, you've got a nice easy one down to here. Asian session. Yeah, that's it. That's it for here. I'll get rid of this little line as well. It's not needed. Beautiful. All right, now we get to the really interesting stuff. So 45 minutes. What I'm seeing is this was the rejection area from New York. So here is this is the liquidity wick. If we go to the lower time frames again, so we get down to the 30 minutes, you can see where we've definitely got an easy target right now. It's too close to it though. So price is always a huge chance of coming back to this imbalance area. Then what we do have is some lovely areas up here. This is why I think that this is a really great target. We've got a little bit of trend line liquidity over here. Okay, so this is your Asian high that we're more than likely going to be targeting. We have resistance formed here in this liquidity wick. This is resistance. Okay, so lovely area for it to go. Once it takes the high, we can push up into this liquidity area. That resistance is fresh, it hasn't been retested yet. Then we've got the actual liquidity pool above it. On the 5 minutes. On the 5 minutes, we have this is where the move started from. No top wick, just push straight down from here. On the 3 minutes, we've got one that's a little bit higher. Sorry, let me just check what my note said. Oh wait, sorry. A little bit lower. This is the 5 minute no top wick. 5 minute candle is this one. The 3 minute no top wick is this one. This is the 3-minute time frame right now. The 5-minute no wick started from here, so there's two zones real close to each other that I think that we could definitely target, and this is in the inside of that 3-hour liquidity candle wick. Now we have plenty of rejection wicks over here in this Asian high area, so that's why I'm really thinking that we're going to push up to this Asian high. We've got no wick, then we've got Asian liquidity, then we've got 3-minute candle, no top wick, and then we've got a 5-minute candle, no top wick, so imbalance. Then above there we've got a doji high on the 1 hour. So this 1 hour. You can see this is the doji high. So I've got all these areas, so many areas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of these areas for liquidity where liquidity is left behind. I don't see the same sort of, I do see some things underneath, but I see far more to the upside. Plus, with this government shutdown being averted for now, I think that could lead to a little bit of optimism. Hence why I'm bullish. I don't want to marry my bias, but I'm more bullish today, and I don't really want to go against this candle here. So that's what I'm thinking. So we'll look for something like that. I will look for something like that. And I think I would like to see something like that. Hey Gilbert, how are you? Okay, so that would be 80 pip move, so all the way up to here. So I wonder, 80 pips to there, 112 pips, so that's a decent range to this part. When I was been talking about all this, we have left a little bit of imbalance here, so I wonder if we can break, retest, and then push up. Yeah. Hopefully we can get a little break, retest, and actually take a trade long from 15,400 or aim something like this. This is a little bit tricky actually. So it's got to be a confirmation entry, I think, or anticipation entry. The question is, which one of these do we go down to? If we break the high, we're leaving liquidity for behind. So maybe we could push up and then come back down. All right, well, the stage is set. We've got our levels marked, got our handrails. We just need to look to wait for the break and wait for the retest, and then see how deep this retest can go, and then start pushing it. Remember, we want to trade on this. Remember why we're waiting for anticipation is we want to try trade on this side of the triangle. So it would be something like that, or like here. My trade I took this morning was, what time was it? Woke up around 4. Yeah, so this is the 4:30 drop. So I think I got in, it was around here somewhere, saw this gap, and I just took it down for 20 pips. I didn't realize though when I took the trade, the spread was 3.7. Who was that?
I was just about to ask you what your spread was.
Yeah. Yeah, 3.7. I was like, because I looked at it, I thought, because I saw price, as soon as I pushed it, I think I actually caught it on that candle. No, sorry. I actually did get it on, I got it on this candle, and as I pushed it, it literally dropped. So the timing was really good on it for the drop. But I thought, oh, and I had a look and I saw that I was still in negative. I was like, oh, that's a bit strange. And then I had a look at the spread because I didn't have the bid and ask lines on my phone. And because it had dropped under my entry, but the asking price was still above my entry, so I was still in drawdown. And I was like, that's strange. So I looked at the spread and I was like, it's a bit definitely, I thought it would be like 1.5 tops. I knew it wouldn't be less than 1 because of the timing, but I was actually didn't realize it was 3.7. So 3.7, looking for 20 pips. That's a little bit high, but I was pretty confident that would have that drop. Cool. Alrighty. Have you guys got any? What else? What are you thinking? You guys bullish or bearish? Waiting for sells from some level? Waiting for sells under a level? Nope, nothing.
Well, I marked in 50% of the pre-London. See if it comes back to there. Pretty much what you've done.
Yeah, cool. All right, hey Manny, how are you? All right, so what was I going to say? Not sure. Mustn't have been important. Whether I get, so the question is, let me mark it up here. The question that I have is which imbalance will it drop to? That's the only question I'm asking myself. How I'll get into it would be a anticipation entry, which means that I'm not going to take a cowboy entry as it pushes down. I don't think I'm going to take a cowboy entry. And what I'm going to wait for is some sign of rejections from these candles. And then if it starts hesitating a bit at breaking the high, I'd hope it would come back. If it's breaking and I missed it too much, I'll just quickly revert and I'll go for a later entry, larger stop loss, securing at 1-to-1, that kind of style. If I miss the prime entry, I will revert to a later entry. I just want to make sure that I trade on. I just don't want to catch it when it's pulling back, because it could pull all the way back to down here. So this is why I don't want to take any real aggressive entries at these levels, because I've got too many to choose from. I've got too many zones it could pull back to. Friday's doji daily was doji. We are in the top half of that, and often actually talks about starting on one side of the doji and moving to the other. So looking at that line, you were feeling bearish. Okay. Yeah. No, he's right. There's also context as well. Like they thought that this was a fundamental. I think this was more of a fundamental drop, and we've got optimism coming back in. So if that's a fundamental drop, then treat the Asian session as a bit of a doji as well, because like we opened here and we closed here. So this Asian session alone was like this. And we've already taken out the Asian session doji low. So now it's likely we can take out the high. All right, here we are. We're at the open. Let's go all chart view for this. Question mark is how far back does it pull? Or the 30-minute going to... Oh, look at that. It's like a blue hot dog. Okay, here we go. This was the resistance. This was 5-minute resistance in Asian session. So I wonder if that's going to hold as a support. But we do have these imbalances. So I'd say that the imbalance is going to be better liquidity for it. So I've taken the first one. Left imbalance to the top side as well. Now is that going to be as low as it goes? Or we're going to have another dig down and push into these deeper ones. I don't really want to take a 1-minute entry. So I'm going to leave on the 3 minutes. The lower it goes, the better I find, I think. And I'll go... can we trade German 40 prop firms? Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's just like any other pair. It might be called German 30 though. It's the same thing though, exact same thing. Just depends if they've updated it. Okay, if we're hesitating in these zones and then breaking this high, I'll go in with a impulsive entry, a cowboy entry. I just want to see it hesitate a little bit. I want it to take this liquidity. If it put like, if you miss it as well, don't stress, because I'm pretty sure it'll bounce back up off of this, and I think we might actually get a second drop like that. This 30-minute candle could easily take out the low of that imbalance candle. All right. I was hoping it was just going to push. Did anyone take it inside of this candle? If you, yeah, I'll ask the next question then. Did anyone grab a hold of this one? Ivan did. Yep.
Yeah, I got it about a third of the way up.
Okay. Now, if you haven't, wait for it to come back. Don't jump into it. Even if it pushes up and breaks the high, see if it can come back and retest this low again. Because often it will. Don't jump in if you didn't get a hold of it down there. Has it filled the gap? It filled the Asian gap. Yeah. Okay. Took a cowboy entry, small risk. We'll add to it if we get confirmation. Yeah, that's another way of doing it as well. I'm thinking it will bounce again. Nice.
Did you get in?
Yeah. Yeah, I was hoping it was going to come into there, so I actually got in a little bit later.
It was nice on the 1 minute after that. Like a sensitive view, yeah.
Yeah.
Candle.
This one here.
Yeah.
Come on. Push. I'll load up more if it can bounce and then come back again. But I'm pretty confident with this move off of one of these guys. Now the less confident that this happens in time, because a lot of the time it will just keep on pushing up. As in, like, I'm confident in the move, but I'm less confident that this happens. Because if they've grabbed their liquidity they want at this time, it can just be a straight push. But I'm hoping that it would give a nice clean entry again. But for it to give a nice clean entry, it's usually better if it leaves liquidity behind. And it's not like it kind of is, but it's, yeah, the way it's moving. going to send an alert here, and I'm going to give it a hand earlier. I've been up for a little bit, so I'm going to go get a coffee now, and let's see if we can just push. Usually is the trick. Target is, ultimate target is going to be 15,500.
So as soon as you said that on the 1 minute, there's a bit of a gap going bullish.
Oh, they listen to me. All right. Looking good. See if we can get a little retest. But we're definitely coming for this liquidity. So secure around this area. We could get like this bounce. It might actually bounce from over here. And maybe then it means that this retest will be a partial retest to retest like something like that. Now that this is moving a bit higher, so should be up at least 25 pips. I'm up. I've got 2 positions at 22 pips each. So let's see if we can push up there. I'll be back in 5 minutes. No, 3 minutes. I'll keep an eye on my phone. Okay, I'm securing 50% right here. Right here. So I closed one of the positions, as in I didn't, they're both the same size. So I just closed one. They were smaller, so both of those together were just one normal trade. Cool. Nice one. If you did partial instead of closing it, that was 50. Yeah. As runs on the board. So nice easy one to start the month, start the week. So we're done. We're done for the day. See you guys. See you tomorrow. Let's have a look, see what is it left behind. My entry was a little bit later on this one. So if I go, unfortunately I didn't get the I had a pending order as well when it was coming down, when I went for the coffee to see if it, before I was going for the coffee, if it would push down to it the way that this was going. As I got in a little bit late on this one, as it was pushing down and hesitating, 1 minute shows it a bit clearer. So as it was pushing down, and then this one started wicking lower. I wasn't watching the 1 minute chart, but when it was hesitating on that 3 minute and then pushing back up towards its high, that was roughly, well, that's exactly the price that I got in on it. Obviously prime entry would have been trying to get in, say, somewhere down here. Yeah, Tom. So like, once you're watching it enough, you're seeing something on a higher time frame, 3 minute, 5 minute, and it feels like it's hesitating to break. After a few minutes have gone by, you know that we've formed lower time frame candles, and then as it breaks its high, you don't want to take the first break, but then it hesitates again, pushes down a little bit, and then starts to get close to its high again. This is what's happening on the lower time frame. So that second break or that second hesitation, and you just enter, say, somewhere as it's breaking the higher second time, you know that you're kind of getting this formation on the lower time frame. The hesitation low, like if you don't have your set bias from the start, it can be really confusing. But because I had a set bias, I was actually waiting for it to push up and then push down to one of these levels, and then we just wanted to make sure it was slowing down so that I know that I'm more likely to trade on this side of the triangle rather than catching on the way down. That makes sense? You entered where you're pointing, which is good, but exited on the same can. Oh, okay. Oh, you entered here and then exited here. You took 12 pips. Oh, I see. Jeff, did I just do a market entry? Yep, exactly. So because I'm trading on MetaTrader, I just enter. I've got fixed lots, so I know where my stop loss is. That this is going to be roughly anywhere between 10 and 20 pips, and I just enter with a fixed lot size, so that when I actually enter, as soon as I've entered, I'll just drag my stop loss to where I want it. I don't have it all set, ready to go, market entry with X amount of pips, because if I get in, say, here or here, or here, I'm obviously going to be it might be 15, it might be 12 pips, it might be 18 pips risk. It doesn't change how much I'm going to risk. I just enter with my lot size that I've chosen, and then I just move my stop loss to where I want it. Drag and drop. I know what you're trading on though, so I would say, you know, always go slightly under risk than over risk. So if you use like say 25 pips, and then you can always opt to tighten your stop loss. I'd rather people do that than go in with too tight of a stop loss. Tom's got to thank Glenn. Yes, I think everyone's got to give Glenn a round of applause for his help he's been giving the Discord. Just showing you how to move that stop loss, drag and drop. Yeah, super easy, super quick. That's why it's so good on some of these brokerages, these platforms that are just basic as. Simple is best. Simple and quick is what you want. So now we're starting to, let's see if we can push through this area. You see how this was just such a lovely zone? Like, how could you just not want to trade up into this resistance? It's like, this is like a magnet for price. It's a magnet for price to come up to here. And if you couldn't wait and you had FOMO of missing the move and you enter in before London Open, then you're not going to get best price. But I think you could be very confident that with the 30-minute candle, like this one, or the 1 hour candle, say I'll go to the 1 hour time frame, trading with this candle is what you wanted to do. Now, if you entered just before London Open because you didn't want to miss the move, think it was just going to explode, then what you're, maybe it's not. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. You might be very happy just to trade up into this zone. The only thing that I do different is I'm anticipating the same thing, and I'm happy to forego if it just opens and just shoots out of the door, out of the blocks. But where I try get in there, or in this case, like say up there. So sometimes I don't get the absolute low of the next candle. I'm anticipating this candle to close or to be like this, and I'm just trying to understand exactly where this lower wick can go, because then I can just get absolute best risk reward. But if you entered before London, sometimes it does work out for you. It just explodes up, and there would have been no entry for me. But most of the time, people enter beforehand. You'll have to sit through a little bit of drawdown before the trade goes in your direction. But there's nothing wrong with either, you know. Nothing wrong with either. It's preference. So now we've taken Asian high. Now we can keep on pushing up. So just about 50 pips. Just about 50 pips. What a start. Well, if you haven't already, can you show the stream a little bit of support? Give it a bit of a hug, give it a like. Otherwise, we won't do them anymore. We'll just cancel. No, not really. It is also my way of journaling. Which I think is a very good idea, to go over your trades. If you're not going over your own trades that you take, it's a huge disservice you're doing to yourself. Huge disservice. Hey Chris, how are you? You got my message? I need to actually do a specific video and pop in indicators, I think, of all their settings. So
Oh, that'd be great.
yeah, I send you the screenshots, but I keep on it takes so long to do these videos. I'm sorry, like all these education ones that I'm trying to do, like write this. I don't really write the script, but I should write the script. But then doing the like, I'm not real good at editing, so all these little videos that I do takes forever, and me like constant. I'll make a mistake. I'm like, oh, try just do the whole thing in one go again. Did you catch this?
No, I came late.
Okay, well, good. There'll be plenty more opportunities. Anyone else? You guys got any questions about this? Did you guys have any? What were your confident levels on we seeing an up push from the open?
Hey, Hayden, Rob here, mate. I was definitely thinking it would take our Asian high quite quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, I'm sort of scratching my head. Is
Sure.
the next target the previous New York high, if it keeps pushing up?
Nah, not necessarily.
No.
You would think it would go here, but this is the New York high, and
Yep.
we've got 1 point of interest there, 2 points of interest, 3 points of interest, 4 points of interest, 5 points of interest. So you've got 5
Yeah, okay.
areas. So if you're looking at New York high, it might turn around just before it.
Yeah.
But you're in the right area.
Yeah.
You're right, mate. You sound rough.
Bit croaky, eh? No, I'm fine. No, all good. Thank you. All good. No, your study sessions, mate, they're fantastic, as well as your breakdowns of the trades. They're good, because when we're in the middle of it, we're sort of, or me personally, I'm looking at it going, yep, I agree. So you hit the button, but going back over it and looking at all the backstory of it is, super beneficial.
Yeah, definitely.
So no, I'm enjoying those.
That's good, mate. Good to hear. Because there's so many times, even when I've done the trade review, trade breakdowns, that going over it again, there's been a couple times there was once 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago that I went over. It happened. I think the same thing happened. It was that week that we didn't. The algos must have changed or something. But what happened was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the move. It gave a breakout entry, and I don't really like taking the breakout entry. And it gave the breakout entry, so then I started looking for the counter trend entry, and then that counter trend move didn't come until like 10:30, 11 o'clock. So I was trying to look for it from like after 8:30, and so I was just getting caught up where it was just like it wasn't giving it. So watching like doing the reviews on it, I was like, oh, you know what? I should just wait for a higher time frame candle before getting that little retracement. So I was able to then adapt on the fly very quickly from just reviewing my day again, rather than turning the computer off and saying, oh, I'll come back tomorrow. It was actually having a look at it. Right. Then even a few days, I think it was not last week, but the week before, I did one of the trade breakdowns. I was like, oh, I should have actually taken this trade. And then the next day I made the adjustment and then took the trade with it, caught it, and it was a great trade. And then again last week, there was a lesson that I thought, oh, I could be a bit more aggressive here and then trade this zone into this zone. And then made the adjustment after the next day after having reviewed what I was looking at. It was in one of the trade breakdowns where I said, oh, you know what, I could have done this better. And then the next day I made that adjustment. And I think that's what is so important about me giving my thought process in the trade breakdowns, but then also you guys do your own as well and have a look at the day and say, where did you go wrong? Because if you're constantly saying, I didn't pull the trigger because of something, the more times you keep on saying that to yourself out loud, you'll start to actually listen to yourself and you'll start to make those adjustments. It's easy to say that you will do it in your head, but after some time, you actually start listening to yourself as well.
Yeah, cool.
Awesome. You're welcome. All right, Tom, what threw me was that very slight retrace. There seemed to be other areas that it could have dropped to just as easy. Oh, so you got caught up in this little bit here, Tom. That's what you're saying. Is that when we're talking about that hesitation? Yeah. Yeah. The key is that if it drops down like this, and then it gives it's this candle. This candle's now live. This one. And like it was bearish, did a partial wick fill, came back and it was bullish. And then where you want to get in is it pushes up. You don't want to get in when it's doing that first push, but then it comes back down again. And then it starts to push up again. Now, before it breaks that high, often that's a good time to be getting in, especially if this candle is coming to the end of its life. So if it's a 3-minute candle, coming to the end of that 3-minute close, because there's a likely that if it's made a high, if it's made a low, then made a high, then come back down, pausing for a bit, and then pushing up again, it's likely it wants to close bullish. And if this is an uptrend, you're more likely to have bullish candles followed by another than it is to have bearish candles followed by another. So that little hesitation on the 3-minute or 5-minute or 15-minute or whatever it is on the lower time frame. It is creating the support, creating the resistance, breaking that resistance. So this is the hesitation candle that got you confused. That after this was hesitating, is it going down from here? But as it was breaking its high again, it was then gonna push up. Yeah, you're welcome, mate. And it's repetition, right? It's what we're doing is getting our reps in, practicing, being here every day, same time, marking the charts up. You're getting your reps in. The more reps you do, the stronger your trading muscle becomes. Yeah, I get it. Then you just got to back yourself as well. So you did everything right. You just you didn't have the confidence to hold, and once you got 10, 12 pips, take it. But that's fine. Next time, if you're trading on I don't know what lot sizes you were using. I'm hoping that you're using quite small lot sizes, but I would say at least go with a lot size that you can say, instead of going 0.1, go 0.2, so that if you're unconfident, close half of it and then try to let the other half run a bit longer. If you're trading on the smallest, then it can be a little bit hard because you want to keep, you want to lock some profits in, but you can't. So it's either all or nothing. Oh, 0.3. Okay. So you could have closed 66% of that. Yeah. All right. And Deb, just can't wait to pull that trigger. Need to learn how to trade on MT5, but seem to have so much to go through. Oh, it's super easy. You just got to watch the video. Like, you just set your lot size, and I'd say just go really small, and it's just buy or sell. But do it on the demo. So I really encourage you just to make mistakes on the demo. Just try things. Learn heaps today through the links that you sent. Actually surprise yourself how much to know. Next on this. Yeah, good. Okay. Yeah, you got demoed. Stop being a perfectionist. Just go and make mistakes. Your task this week is to blow a demo account. Just because you get used to putting trades on, making mistakes. Okay, we're not going to want to encourage blowing even demo accounts, but I want you to go and make mistakes. Okay, you can have unlimited demo accounts as you want, but I really encourage make mistakes. You learn from them better. Okay, so taking out this area, this gray zone. So this is where we're doing that pullback from. Let's see. Yeah, I'm actually being serious there. It's I'm being serious. Just go ham on the demo account. It's the best way to learn MetaTrader. You're not going to try to do analysis on it, so that's why it's easier to just put trades on, get used to the numbers, size, how to change lot sizes quickly, how the different different pairs like gold versus indices. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Chances are you won't lose anything, Deb. Chances are you'll have some amazing trades on the demo account, just trading, and then you'll think, oh, this is easy, and then go live too quickly. Yeah, exactly. Alrighty. So I did put a new for people that are new and wondering what the difference is between like just sort of like how a very helicopter view of liquidity providers and brokerages and how they link. I put the new video in the G drive. Did you guys see that I put that there?
Yeah. Yeah, Haydo, that's a good video. That it explains things really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I figure as people are going to MetaTrader, that I do see, should we go ECN or should we go standard account? And like, do Razor, in my eyes. But you can do both. It doesn't. There are pros and cons to each. But then I'll keep on talking about how liquidity providers provide liquidity, because I think what I need to do is make sure that when you're trading with us or my style, that you understand that someone said, what style are you trading? Then you can go and say, instead of just price action, it's a specific price action. You're trading liquidity. You're trading price action, fundamentals, common sense, and playing the game how they play it in terms of, if I had to go, if price has just been selling off and I was going to sell, would I really want to sell the low? Or would I want to, if I had the ability to manipulate price, what would I do? And that's what we're trying to understand, is how they play the game, which is very effective. I think we've got a best of both worlds here. We've got amazing risk reward. We've got pretty damn high accuracy. We've got simplicity in the pairs that we're using, and we're not really trading all day every day, are we? Well, we can because we love it, but really you can be done as well in a relatively short time if this timing of the day suits you. If this timing of the day doesn't suit you with your lifestyle, family, work commitments, etc., then the same style works in US session as well. That's a little bit more wild US session. What else? Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of positives to trading like this. The negatives is that it takes practice. Now we get into this little pause area. So this is what I was doing when we had that week, like nearly a month ago now, that if we just missed the breakout, this was where I was getting caught up looking for that little counter trend move. And then price was Like, it just wasn't giving it. 3 minute HCS down. What's 3PL? 5. Oh, triple. Oh, I see. Triple HCS. Yeah. Gilbert, how long you start seeing results? Don't know. It's a hard one to answer. Depends on your experience in trading. I think people that turn up and sort of just have been using my levels as a zone, as a guide, can have a bit more confidence in some certain levels. But trading by yourself, confidently picking your own levels, I would say you've got to at least give it some time. I wouldn't want to put a time limit on anyone because it puts pressure on if you're not getting it quick enough. And then some others might have much more time to really do study and back testing and forward testing and things. So you might pick it up quicker as well. So I don't want to say if you're a slow learner or a fast learner, but I would say that everyone, if you're turning up and practicing the same thing, at least for a couple months, I can guarantee you'll have significant improvement than you were when you started.
Consistency is probably not what you should be aiming for. It's just improvement.
Yeah. Results not always in your balance as well, in your account balance. Result could be improvement could just be how you get to the charts and what you start looking at initially. If you can start ordering that, then I think that's a huge improvement already. I think people should take time. So go on.
Yeah, like just identifying a reaction zone, just having a look on the chart, working out where a potential reaction may happen, and just keep an eye on it and see what happens. Like pick it out 10 minutes before you get to the chart and just see what happens when it gets there. You do it enough times and you'll notice it reacts in similar places quite often.
Yeah, like I'm here at the charts maybe usually 40-50 minutes at least before I take a trade, marking up my levels, my reaction areas. A lot of people would be at the charts and be in a trade within 20 minutes. I think it's also important as well is people to write out your process. Like, for example, think about like what your trading plan is. I think I brought this up last week and I'm saying like, do people actually wrote out what they are looking for or have written out what they're going to do? Like, have you actually wrote it down? If you write it down, I think you're going to uncover the holes a lot more. I'll give you an example of like my one. Here's like an example. Okay, so this is a little bit dated. But have like your pairs, trade times, how you're going to manage your risk. Okay. Trade analysis, how you looking for your entries. Kind of like how you do your levels, where your potential entries are, how you do your journaling afterwards, what your goal is, how you'll get better, your reporting, understand the session times, volume times, do a little bit on support resistance if you want, how to scale, trade examples. This is a little bit broken, goal plan. obviously I don't want to give everything away onto the stream, where on how we do zones and levels and stuff like that. That's more reserved for, you know, my service. But I would really make sure you guys, or I'd really encourage you guys to write it, sit down, take some time, take an afternoon, and try write out your plan. I think even just writing it out, even if you can't get like even if you feel like it's not really that coherent, it's going to show you where your holes are. So I think that's one of the most important things you should be trying to do. You know, that's priority. Okay. Oh, your holder's patience. Always lack of buying at pullback, selling at pullback. You mean like you're in the trade too early, or you're hesitating to get in? Oh, you're in too early. Yeah, that's a common one. That's a very common one. Because the time that you are patient, you feel like you know sometimes you're too patient. It just goes. And then when you're trying not to be like you think you got the right timing, then you're in too early. Alrighty, so let's see if we can get 15-minute close as a little not really a doji, but if we can get another pause here and then it break the low, we might get the second entry. Problem is this 30-minute candle leaving this liquidity, because it left liquidity behind, and we didn't get we didn't take out all the zones, all the imbalances that were left behind. But let's see. Because we did form a resistance on the 3-minute. This formed a resistance, but we've got an imbalance here as well. So is this just a friendly pullback? Is it? Because we should have another retest of 15,466. Just want to see how low this is going to go. Stop loss is going to be just below for the runner, just below that no wick candle, just below it, just in case it comes back all the way to here. Hopefully we can get another entry.
Anything like Friday, it'll just reject off this zone right now, buddy.
And push up.
Oh, I kept refusing to pull the trigger when it hit the previous support. No, the previous resistance, using it as support. But
Yeah, you like those the
Oh.
Euro session or Asian session high.
I didn't follow my rule on Friday and just kept waiting, holding off and holding off and holding off, and it bit me in the backside. Like, look. Hit me in the butt.
Oh, did Alpha come back at you? Did you survive the?
Yeah, all good, all good.
That's good, mate. You must have had to change your pants when you did that.
many times. My own silly fault, but
So 5 closes a doji. Making lower highs. Same thing, breaks the high, comes down, breaks the high again. Then we can see upside back up to 15,466. Without that second break, we could still come down, take that doji low. Could have taken, because we took the Asian high, price could just sit here for a little bit while it generates liquidity. 1 hour's not giving us any information. If anything, that 1 hour's telling us we can go deeper again. If you're taking a good trade as well, you don't need to partake in another trade. Let's see how this hour candle is going to close. Yeah, lot sizes when you're starting to, yeah. You double lot size, now it takes time to adjust. Definitely. Definitely. But that's good. It's, if you're starting to increase with confidence, then that's, you're leveling up. What are we on gold? What's gold?
gold's pulling back. It's almost back to the open.
It's 1840. Oof. Pound Aussie, 1.902. Okay. So no new addition over the weekend. Hopefully, hopefully this week. Okay, this Asian imbalance is done. Remove that line. Oh, I didn't send, yeah. I didn't send Dave the link. Where is he? I didn't see that he needed it. Mate, are you watching, Dave? Did you need the link? I forgot the YouTube, I forgot to email it to you.
Oh, he's got a Zoom meeting, mate. He's on Discord.
Oh, okay. If you're available after the stream, let's sort it out. Sort out how you can get it without me having to email. All right. That trade's done now. All right. That imbalance is taken. Let's see. 1 hour's now looking aggressive. That 4 minute look at, it's not really, there's nothing really here, is there? Also another gap in your chart, market open. This one down here. Is that the one you're talking about, Sarah?
Yeah, the one on market open, I don't know if it's on your chart, right to the left.
I've got this one. This one's been filled.
You look up on your left hand, top left. Has it been taken?
This one?
Your chart, top left.
Even down
yeah,
here?
this one. Yeah, has that been taken?
The wick has.
Oh, okay. On my chart, it doesn't look like it, but it might be just the colouring.
Yeah. Okay, there could be a 40 pip move coming up here. Okay. Hopefully it doesn't start pushing up now, because I don't want to enter with this hour candle ready to close in the next 2 minutes. If you're going to take another trade, if you're already taking a win, size down. But if I don't see something that I really want, then I would go for a walk myself. How's the new timing for you,
Do you need
Southeast
another
Australian?
coffee? Is that what it is?
Yeah, another coffee to push price. See how tactical that was. Get the coffee and then
Yeah.
we get the move early.
Was very good. I was gonna say, is it second coffee time?
I don't know if I can have a second one. I'll be jumping off the wall, or I'll be like caffeine intoxication and then fall asleep.
Get all jittery.
Mate, I've got to say, the caffeine constipation's a myth for me. It's the complete opposite.
Just all of a sudden, yeah, coffee goes right through you.
And it's always right around London Opens.
Now it's become a mental thing. It's like Pavlov's. It's like your body reaction now. It's like when it doesn't matter what happens. This might be giving too much information, but it doesn't matter if I've just gone and done like a wee. If I know I need to leave the house, instantly got to do another one. Instantly, I've got to. I can't leave with it. I feel like, oh my god, if I go without.
Never matter. Never matter.
I think it's like my parents scarring.
The first day of trading under daylight savings for me, so I'm not sure how it's going to go.
Oh yeah.
Being that I get up so in the morning, because the New York session not going to open until like 11 p.m. my time.
Yeah, 11 p.m. now. Then it's going to be midnight in a month's time.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how that's going to be. I might just have to leave that stuff for when I'm on night shift. But I'll give it a try tonight and see how it goes.
Yeah, this is the thing. It gets to this time of year, and people will start not trading New York session as much.
Well, I don't mind doing it when I'm on nights, but when I'm on days and I have to be up at 3:30, it makes it difficult.
Yeah, definitely. But even when I was in Australia, it was like waiting for NYSE at 1:30 in the morning. It's just that extra hour, 2 hours makes such a huge difference.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got the new hour candle. See how this candle closes a little red doji. Not a little, actually a big doji. Maybe take the higher, but that'd be tasty. Okay, nice if we pull back, and then danger is if it's just going to push straight up. Then it'll be a missed trade. Still think I'd rather wait for the pullback. Create like a little bit of this like little trend line kind of thing. Sweep it and push up. Oh yeah, New Zealand's even worse. New Zealand and New York Stock Exchange open at 3:30 in the morning.
That'd just be like getting up earlier for a day shift for me.
Yeah, get up early to trade. That's actually a point there.
Do that, get up, trade, go to the gym.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the good thing is that if you just trade one session, then these daylight savings, when they change, that's London sessions starting to get to after dinner, which is a good thing.
Hi everybody.
Hey Dave, how are you, mate?
Good. Thought I had a Zoom meeting, but I didn't have it, so I can be here tonight, which is good.
Good one. I
went through the workshop. It's good.
Oh yeah, which workshop?
One from yesterday.
Oh, our study session.
Yeah, it was really good.
Oh,
Explained
nice.
a lot.
Yeah, good one.
So the market's just opened 3 minutes ago to London, am I right?
An hour and 3 minutes ago.
No, okay, so when does daylight savings kick in?
For me, it kicks in end of this month. The last Sunday. So it moved New South Wales, Victoria, it moved an hour later with the Aussie clocks, but then the London clocks will move back on the last Sunday of this month, and then that will affect everyone in outside of UK.
Okay. So Brisbane is still the same because we don't have daylight savings.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it.
So the cows don't get confused. Okay.
Yeah, the cows, no, they're going to get fed at the same time still. It's crazy, isn't it? Like, wouldn't they just farmers just get up an hour earlier? Just don't change.
It's been debated here a lot. Hey, and there's less fading of the
Carpets, yeah.
lines and stuff there.
I think it's gonna just. It didn't. I didn't get that entry. It didn't really give me an entry. Did you guys? Anyone take that?
Nah.
Yeah, it didn't give me an entry. Only way I could have entered it if it was. Oh, sorry.
I caught it.
Who took it?
Yeah, on the
Yeah, I took
200
it.
EMA.
Simon, Sarah, who else? Was it just you two talking? Simon and Sarah?
Yeah, I took it. So on the 5 minute.
Yep.
Hang on, because I'm using both platforms. So on the 5 minute, I set my entry level after that first bullish candle right at the top of the wick, and then when the second one started turning bullish, it kicked in.
This one here. Oh, sorry, this one here.
Yeah, so I set my entry right at the top of that wick of that first candle, that first bullish candle, and then it kicked in right where you've got your finger.
Okay. Only way that to take this one where it doesn't give you like that anticipation entry is to, as it's pushing down, if it makes like a little resistance and then breaking the resistance to take it. So like on the 1 minutes, I didn't really even, kind of, I guess as it was pushing down, like that's your resistance. And then as it closes above, you can take it there. It's not, I don't particularly like that entry. It would have been nice if there was a red candle and then bullish. So this kind of reminds me, the entry I took on gold on Friday. This is how I'd prefer to trade this. Is if it doesn't like give you my ideal entry is up. Okay, so it hits a target. This is a 1 minute chart, gold. Is that it doesn't like, see how like it doesn't really give you that sort of reaction that I particularly like, that I like. But what it does is as it pushes up with acceleration in these candles, hits your zones of interest, creates that little consolidation, and then breaks that little support. And then like that's like anticipating that it's breaking that low is my preferred entry for that style. Otherwise, I would much prefer it to give a candle like this, give a doji like this, and then try enter up here for that kind of entry. We might actually get a proper shot in the soon. Looks like it's ripping back. Thing is, it's leaving in balance. It just depends if you consider that a liquidity wick. HCS on the 5 minute. No, there's nothing here. No support. Anything that's going for it is imbalance. And this is a 3 minute one though. It is a 3 minute. Size down, but I'm going to give it a go with a lower size. So as it pulled back, try target right here. Yeah, that's the problem. 15 minutes of doji. It hasn't closed yet though. The problem's the hours of the doji. I think it's got leftover liquidity still to the top side. But it's risky because I don't trust this as a liquidity candle. This one here closed alright. If it's breaking this low, it's not a good sign.
Hayden,
Yep.
can you go to the 1 minute if you don't mind?
Sure.
So, can you zoom out just a little bit? Yeah, so that we can see the entries. Don't you see that? Does it seem like to you this is basically the same case as this one? Same entry that we took on the buy here. Or confirmation support. This we grab a liquidity and then basically targeting the next liquidity, which is basically this or this.
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. That's like, because I had a fairly, I've got decent targets. There, I wasn't sure about this though, on the lower time frame. On the 3 minute.
Yeah.
It seemed like if it was a doji, then it could take that doji before going up and retest this area. But it's the same entry. Like it's closer to being a good entry than it being a bad entry. Like I'd be okay to give that a go, which is just be careful with it. If you can get up to like 10 pips or so, don't let it become a losing trade. But it is the same. I think it makes sense. The trade itself makes sense. It's just the question marks I had is how do I interpret what this candle means? If it's a liquidity candle, then this is 100% a great entry. If it's not a liquidity candle, because it looks like a doji as well, then that would invalidate this candle. Come on. Beautiful. All right. I'm actually going to secure 50% now, and I'm going to move my stop loss underneath this candle wick. So I've locked in this trade now. Is if it comes down and stops me out, I would have made like 2 pips. But I don't want to move to break even because I think I'd rather give it some room. But underneath this wick here, it doesn't make sense anymore because it's going to take this doji low. So there's no point me risking this much anymore. But now it moved up more than 10 pips, which is more than I'm risking here. And I was able to lock some in.
Yeah, it went to the imbalance to the T.
Yeah, it could reject off of here, couldn't it? Let's see. Let's see what it does at the first imbalance. Oh, shit. Okay. Try to draw a straight line. Forget it. Next one is up here. That's a target.
Yeah, there's also an imbalance on the 1 minute. So another one. Yeah.
Yeah, another one right there, isn't there? If it's breaking that one, it could do a pullback and then it should go to here.
Yeah.
Well, this is resistance, confirmation of resistance. Like Kerwin style. On the 1 minutes. And so who do we trust? Now this is forming, if you don't even look at this, this here is forming your support, 1 minute supports. Like that. So I think this was a good area to make sure at least secure.
So you still have the same stop loss, or you bumped it to?
I'll put it under here now, because this was about 1.5, 2 pips less than when I secured when it was pushing up to here. So now it's it's going to be a break-even trade if it hits my stop loss. But I knew that if I put it to here, then I most likely will just be stopped out anyway. So at least I've secured and given it a chance to push up. I just don't trust this 3 minute candle. So the 3 minutes a better quality time frame. Yeah, now look at it now. Oh, it was worth a shot.
Yeah.
Another no wick candle. Alright, so there's 2 trades. Second one secured at 10. With the runner.
Yeah. Just trading bad boy. Someone
We'll see what this one does. If it takes me out, then I'll take a break to NY. Price is really for the last half an hour to sort of consolidate in this side of this range. It's really unsure where it's going to go. Oof. Now, if this one closes bullish and it starts pushing up again, then I can move to break even completely. And actually lock a bit more profit in. Wait for this one to close. One minute was nice manipulation. Let's have a look. This candle and this one. Let's see. Got imbalance again. Maybe it can push up 12 pips to there. If it breaks as high again. Or is it just creating a little support to break? It's looking like it's going to go down.
US30 and the S&P 500 are both looking like they're flipping as well.
Mm-hmm.
Same like that.
All right. Well,
You might be having a pullback.
yeah. Took me out anyway. End of the BE. Well, plus a pip. What's the reason for all those no wick candles? There's not normally so many there. Just curious. Oh, on the 1 minutes there is. 1 minute you get a lot of them. It's when you're seeing the order flow come into the market. 3 minutes you're seeing it. Like on the lower time frames you see more and more. On the higher time frames you've got less likely to see them because unless it happens at the start of the candle, you won't see it. But on lower time frames, you're more likely to see them. Yeah, so it was worth a shot to give it a go, but that candle was suspect to begin with. Hence, size down and manage your trade aggressively if you're going to take that one. So, cool. Alrighty. Well, I think it was a nice session. It's great that we got the early trade. Really, really beautiful. Just continuation of the higher time frame. Reacted from Asian high from one of the zones of interest, one of the ZOIs that we predicted, which is a very common one, being the Asian high. It gave the pullback. Tried to see if we can do continuation entry, but there's just not much happening right now. So yeah, I think we'll call it there. I think that day's crappy outside for me, but got to go get some things anyway. So cool. All right, guys.
Thank you.
Hope you guys had a decent session. So tag me in Discord if you need some help, or put a if you've got any questions, and I'll catch you guys later on. Okay. YouTube audience, thank you very much for being here. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks, Hayden. Thanks, Hayden.
Bye bye.